Good.
Not like I remember it or anything, but yeah, I was.
Well, I'm waiting.
What about it? Oh, were you homecoming king?
No, that's not what I'm waiting for.
Did you go to prom?
It's not about me.
Okay.
Because I didn't participate in cisgender heteronormative horrors like you did. And I think you owe us all an apology.
Why? What are you talking about?
Excuse me.
Hello?
Excuse me. This isn't me saying it. I'm appealing to a higher authority, SMU's Human Rights Council.
Uh-oh.
The Human Rights Council on the campus of Southern Methodist University. Southern Methodist University. That's ostensibly a Christian one. Human Rights Council, which has participated in the last 3 homecomings at the school, now finds the homecomings to be a horrific affront to decency, and of course, decency being a synonym for gender neutrality. They have demanded a reversal of course for homecoming on the campus of SMU. SMU's commitment to equal opportunity includes non-discrimination on the basis of orientation and gender identity and expression, and a gendered homecoming is in violation. Abolish the use of gendered language in the homecoming process, including the offending phrases. Yes, exactly. Enable all participating organizations to nominate up to 2 candidates for homecoming royalty. Royalty, however, is not offensive. Interesting. Yeah. Provide all students the opportunity to cast votes for up to 2 candidates, not on a single ballot, not separated by sex or gender identity.
So you could have 2 guys up there. You could have 2 girls up there. You could have a trans.
You could have 2 guys identifying as 2 girls
that are boy. Yeah.
You could have anything was possible under the sun. This is I perhaps in part inspired by Elliot. Don't call me Ellen Page. The former Juno star made headlines when she went. Well, she made headlines during the 2016 race when she was stalking Ted Cruz. And then she came out as a lesbian, and now she's
enough.
a guy.
Now she's got when being a lesbian's not enough. You have to take it one step further.
You know who wrote the screenplay to Juno, by the way?
Who?
Diablo Cody.
Oh.
Bennett Academy grad. Oh. Right. She is I
love that movie.
She is the 3rd most famous Bennett grad.
And where do you fall in line there?
It's Frank Kaminsky.
Oh, yeah.
Frank the Tank. It's me.
Oh, okay.
And then it's Diablo Cody. Yeah. Not exactly.
Anybody
but in my
else
mind, it's like
okay.
that. All right. For more on all of this, always enjoy the cultural commentary of one Chadwick Moore. He is a columnist for The Spectator. He joins us now. Chadwick, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. So what about Elliot Page and whether or not those who made the offending film will have to go back and politically correct edit it so that Ellen Page's character can be an Elliot type character, and you would have the addition, if you remember the movie Juno, that Ellen Page gets pregnant, and so now it would be in that the edited version, the updated version, it would be a man getting pregnant to confirm what we all know to be true, that men can be pregnant. Chadwick.
well, what's separation coming now that Elliot is a straight white man?
I'm sorry, Chadwick, you cut out us. I'm sorry, say that again.
Where are the reparations for all of those female actresses that Elliot Page, who is a straight white male, always has been a straight white male, as took their roles?
That's right.
Talking about equity in Hollywood.
That's great point.
That's the one thing I want to know.
So she posted on Instagram that she came out as a transgender, meaning she was born one sex, identifies as the other, but is also non-binary, which means she actually has no sex. Correct?
Right. Yeah, now we're really getting into the weeds a bit. So, but you're not supposed to question these things, right? And this is why it sort of speaks to a kind of boutique transgenderism that we see everywhere. It's a kind of behavior that you expect from teenagers these days. Elliot is in her 30s. But it's the sort of thing you expect from teenagers seeking attention, like, well, not only am I not a lesbian anymore, I'm trans, but I'm also non-binary. So I'm just going to keep you guessing, and you're just supposed to accept it and go along with it. I think most people are just rolling their eyes and don't really care what some actress desperate for attention is saying. And then on the other hand, but I think what really annoys people is it's this, we can kind of laugh and poke fun at this case, but what seems to annoy people most is it's that steady encroach on just trying to redefine the entire world and just trying to turn everything up on its head that we see the left doing now that they have no real substance thing to fight for. Every cause they have is sort of based on a lie or misinformation. And also it's flipping commonly held beliefs and the basis for civilization on its head as they seek their radical transformation into what they're not quite sure.
There's a certain sadness that comes with Ellen Page becoming Elliot, and that's that she can't be a football kicker in the Southeastern Conference anymore. She's disqualified from perhaps getting a scholarship to kick at Vanderbilt.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. And we're going to miss out on that, unfortunately.
And it's going to be interesting to see moving forward what kind of roles she's going to, apply for or try out for. Is she going to be trying to be a male character, or is she masculine enough to play a male character? Or
Elliot Page is RuPaul in the RuPaul story.
Well, that's an interesting point. And speaking of RuPaul, well, first of all, on that point, I don't think it's going to be bode well for her career, because as much as Hollywood actors like to virtue signal and Hollywood likes to pretend that they are super woke, they still want the hot leading man. They still want the heterosexual love story. The normal, the normal things is still what sells. I don't think her prospect for roles looks very good. Still, when men come out as gay in Hollywood, and Hollywood is filled with closeted gay men, they don't get those leading roles anymore. So that could be good. But speaking of RuPaul, and if you really want to be flipped on your head, of course, RuPaul has this reality show called RuPaul's Drag Race, which is a competition between drag queens. Drag queens are gay men who dress as women for it's nightlife entertainment, right? It's performance. It's
sure.
Yeah. So they
like
just
Barbra
announced that the next
right.
season, right? Exactly, yeah. Adult nightlife entertainment. It's been around forever. People love drag, but they just announced on their next season they were going to have their first trans man competitor, which is a biological woman who identifies as a man who dresses up as a woman to entertain.
That's not fair.
There you go. I don't think that's fair.
That's
either.
called
They're
cheating.
Right?
I think Elliot Page could be cast in a Rosie O'Donnell biopic.
Oh.
I think
she'd have to put on some LBs, or they can make her.
Well, sure. Yeah, she'd wear a fat suit, but I think she could pull that off. He could pull that off, I should say. Excuse me. I mean, what it speaks to, even though this is, as you say, sort of arrested adolescent silliness, it does speak to the continued push for identitarian politics. If anybody thought identitarianism was going to go away when the left was able to depose Donald Trump, they're just going to press down on the pedal. We see this not just in the area of gender identity politics, but Ivy League librarians. Ivy League librarians. I mean, is there a more removed set of people in the world than Ivy League librarians? How thick and small is that bubble? 13 abolitionist librarians, they're calling themselves. Abolitionists, like slavery abolitionists. 13 abolitionist librarians from the Ivy League call themselves Abla Ivy, demanding colleges immediately begin the work of divesting from police and prisons. The librarians are leading. The Ivy League librarians are leading the fight. But I mean, so there's this defund the police. It cost Democrats seats in the House and probably seats in the Senate, and probably the presidency, although that may not go as we anticipated. But that identitarian politics, this is not going away. This is only going to increase in speed and intensity.
I think you're right, and I think what guaranteed that was the fact that it's Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, that none of the far lefties wanted. Nobody wanted them to be president. Let's be honest. People only voted for him because they strongly disliked the other guy. Nobody eagerly voted for Biden. But the far left, they didn't. Once again, like in 2016, they had their candidate stolen from them. So they don't like Biden. They despise him. He's an old white man, and they might not be vocal about it because they don't want to hurt the side that they're most aligned with. But they pretty much feel about him the same way as a lot of the Trumpers do. He's a swamp creature. He's whatever. But so that even gives them more. They're still angry, and that even gives them more carte blanche to double down on the social justice insanity, the identity politics insanity. I believe I saw Black Lives Matter posting about how it had been 35 days since they requested a meeting with Kamala and Biden, and they hadn't got it yet. Yeah, well, no duh. What were you expecting?
Well, they were expecting. They wanted a seat at the table to express their frustrations and let them know we helped you. We put you in office. Now you got to repay us.
I think it's for those who fear the far left, it's scarier that Biden was anointed and as president because, in the next election, the far left might actually get their guy. They might get their grassroots populist guy like Trump was for the right. And that might be scary. But for now, they've got 4 years. If Biden ends up being president, they've got 4 years to find that person and to increase the insanity and double down on this behavior.
But I mean, you read past the subtext. Oh, they demand a meeting. They're not getting a meeting. You're not supposed to come in the front door. Shh. You come in the back door when I tell you to come. It doesn't mean that there's any they're not disassociating from one another. It's just we have you in this space to play this role. You can't embarrass me in front of my friends.
That's exactly right. It reminds me of something I heard Ambassador Rick Grinnell say when he was the first openly gay member of the presidential cabinet. And he had said, the Democrats treat us, they like to put us when talking about LGBTs and other identity groups, he said they like to put us at the rainbow table down the hall, and they come in, once a year, and they check in on us, and they snap our picture, and then that's it. Whereas someone like Trump, he said put us at the cabinet table, or he wants the best person for the job. So you're right. It's like come in the back door. We don't want to, look too cozy. We don't want to. Yes, you helped us get elected, and we used you, but that's all over now. Now we're in charge.
He is Chadwick Moore. He's a columnist for The Spectator. Check out his latest offering. Hey, Elliot, aren't you a bit too old for this? As we were discussing, Chadwick, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer.
I want Christmas. Just give me plain baby Jesus lying in a manger. Christmas.
On AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Dan Proft.
And I'm Amy Jacobson. And if you're a small business owner or you make the marketing or advertising decisions for a business, then listen up. Once again, our annual Food for the Poor campaign is underway to raise money to feed families in Latin America who are suffering because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our friends at Food for the Poor are working with partners on the ground at feeding centers to provide emergency food relief. And here's how your business can be part of the solution.
Become a Food for the Poor business benefactor. Just make a $2,500 tax-deductible donation to Food for the Poor, and AM 560 will give you 40 60-second commercials to air here on AM 560 The Answer between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday to Friday.